evening. Can you hear me okay? Good evening. So glad you all are here. That was our Prelude Orchestra, our mostly beginning orchestra. Many of the students this past August either had just started playing or hadn't played anything at all. So very, very proud of their hard work. Back in August we were talking about what is an instrument? How do you hold it properly? What are the notes that you can play? And some of the students who hadn't had any prior music experience, it was, what are notes? What are rhythms? What can we do with that? So obviously come a very long way. Very, very proud of them. It's been fun to get to know the students, and particularly this group has been very focused during class as well. So I think that for that, especially being that 7th period block, which can be hard by the end of the day. So these concerts, of course, are free and open to the public, but we do more than just the fall and spring concerts. We also attend the MPA events, that's the Music Performance Assessments, and those can be around the state. We had our district MPA at Venice High School this year, and also the state MPA, which I'll talk about more a little bit later. That was in Titusville, Florida, which is near the Daytona area. So we do a lot of travel, and it takes a lot to get the students where they're going with the instruments as well. So the buses for that, in addition to the instrument repair, are kind of our two main things that take up most of the budget. So there's zero obligation for this, but I just want to throw it out there. If you would like to further support us, we will have student ushers on the side that can receive cash or checks, donations made out to the parish community orchestras. So thank you for considering that. We have one more with the Prelude Orchestra tonight. This is Little Critters. Thank you.
Oh.
Oh my god.
You can help me on cam 1. Yo, come. No water. I really hope that's okay.
As well. Or is somebody else doing it?
We don't
Yeah.
have a partnership.
Okay.
This is our Philharmonic Orchestra, the intermediate orchestra, and mostly comprised of freshmen, but we have all ages, all grades represented in here. And in February, this group was one of the groups that went to that music performance assessment, the MPA, that was at Venice High School, and for the district. And they earned an overall excellent rating, so very proud of them for that. Many members of this group and the symphony also went to Universal Studios a few weeks ago. You can stay in touch with our social media to see photos and videos from events like Universal and from the MPAs. On the front of your programs, there are links and the QR code for our Instagram as well, where you can find pictures and videos from both and all of those events, including some video of the performances as well. If there are any seniors in this group, please stand to be recognized at this time. We're going to have one more for you with the Philharmonic. This is from the musical and the movie The Greatest Showman, called A Million Dreams.
Do you want to share? What's the plan for Saturday? see what he said?
This is our symphony orchestra, the most advanced group we have here in Parish Community. And this group earned an overall superior rating at the district MPA. Say one, that was advanced, yeah. Qualified for the first time in the Class B rating to go to state, which we attended 2 weeks ago, so that's another huge win for the program. Seniors of the symphony, at this time, please stand and be recognized. We're going to take a break from the show ever so briefly to recognize some amazing students that we have in our program. First is the orchestra leadership team. We would not have been able to have our group successes without this team. From the printed and cataloged music, to the instrument repair, to the team bonding and development activities, to our student conductor leadership. It took every single one of these students to commit their time and effort to help us grow and shine this year. And as I call your name, please join me at the front of the stage for a picture, and please hold your applause until the very end, and all students have been called. First is student conductor Ryan Schaefer. Logistics, hold your applause. Logistics manager Linda Silenska. Assistant logistics manager Rain Bonneau. Equipment manager Marley Payne. Equipment manager Cezanne Gunalbalar. Librarian Vivian Thatch, and librarian Jasmine Pham. The 2025-2026 orchestra leadership team. If you receive an award tonight, whether you're sitting in the audience or on stage, when your name is called, please join me on stage for the award and a photo. First up is the outstanding freshman. This student impressed me from the very beginning with their skill, leadership, and determination to push themselves. Leadership is an uncommon ability for a freshman to have, and it shows an impressive level of maturity. I see a bright future for the student, and they are currently leading the largest section in the Philharmonic, and have been the entire year. Please help me congratulate this year's Parish Community Orchestra's outstanding freshman, Casey Paulina. Up next is the sophomore of the year. This student has improved dramatically since the beginning of the year. They are a sponge that soaks up every single concept that I offer. And the orchestra students know I give out a lot of information, especially as it relates to music theory. This student was never daunted by the new concepts and worked hard to apply what they learned in AP Music Theory to the advanced orchestra. They even earned the principal chair position for the second semester. Please help me in congratulating this year's Parish Community Orchestra's outstanding sophomore, Kelvin Cardona. This next one is for the Wall of Fame. At the beginning of this year, I posted a leaderboard with activities that students could do to earn points. Earning a high score in the Prelude and Philharmonic meant that your chance of moving up to a higher orchestra was greater. For the symphony, I told them I would do something special. This symphony student received a significant number of points, much more than I ever would have imagined for the first year of this Wall of Fame. Primarily, this student also participated in the All-State Orchestra, which is incredibly elite and prestigious. And although it sounds like I've been describing one student, this virtually impossible criteria has actually been met by 2 students who went above and beyond this year. The Wall of Fame is a tradition that was started by my former director to recognize world-class musicians. These students will be honored with a photo plaque that will hang on our new Wall of Fame at the orchestra room door. I'd like to thank these students for their hard work and dedication and for continuing to inspire others to reach their greatest potential. Please help me in congratulating this year's Wall of Fame recipients, Ryan Schaefer and Sergio Lloyd Toro. The next award is called the Director's Award, and it is the runner-up to the National School Orchestra Award. This student will be recognized with a take-home plaque and have their name engraved on a perpetual plaque that will hang in the orchestra room. This student has shown leadership, excellence, kindness, and maturity. They model quality and patience and have high expectations for themselves and others. This student has earned our symphony concertmaster position this semester and helped lead us on the journey all the way to the state competition. Please help me congratulate this year's recipient of the Director's Award, Emma Frederick. The National School Orchestra Award is the top award for any orchestra program, and it can only be earned by one student. The student will be recognized with a take-home trophy, a certificate, a pin to wear at graduation, and their name will be engraved on a perpetual plaque that will hang in the orchestra room. This student has been a leader since day one of me walking through these doors a little over a year ago. The proactivity, insight, sensitivity, and cerebral disposition of this student has made a significant positive impact on the program, from the student team-building activities to the quintet experiences at Anna Maria Island, the Arts Wilderness Club, and Lecom Park, which is coming up on Thursday, May 14th. They have maintained the principal chair position the entire year. They are a member of the Sarasota Youth Orchestra, the Bradenton Symphony Orchestra, the Parish Community Symphony Orchestra, the SDNC All-County Orchestra, and leader of the Parish Community String Quintet. Please help me congratulate our logistics manager and this year's National School Orchestra Award recipient, Linda Zielinska. Reminder for all seniors, wherever you're at in the room, after our final piece, please join us up on stage for one final senior picture with everybody. We're going to close out tonight with our adventure piece, Minotaur, that helped us earn a superior rating and go to the state competition. But first, I'd like to share one more piece that I wrote to see and to feel the world. I composed this in 2013, I was asking my grandmother. while before moving into a nearby assisted living home and then a nursing home. She was 93 years old when she passed away. When I attended her funeral, I learned a lot about her from the obituary and from speaking with her friends, and I thought, what is it like to see and to feel the world and not be able to share that with the people that you love? So because of the dementia element to her story, you're going to hear parts of this piece that are happy and sad at the same time. There's a ticking clock element to signify the passing of time. And in the middle, the music gets a little fuzzy. It's kind of foggy, like a distant memory. Why are we talking about dementia at an orchestra concert? You guys have let me talk for such a long time, and I appreciate that. I wrote this piece when I was a senior in high school as a reminder to have an adventure and to share the journey with people. So my charge to this senior class, my first full year senior class at BCHS, is that after high school, you go on to see and feel the world. The ups and the downs that it brings, because it's worth it in the end. That you advocate for yourself and you set boundaries when something doesn't feel right. And that you follow through on what you want to accomplish with discipline, determination, and accountability. That you keep in mind the value you have to offer, and that you realize that time itself does not heal all wounds, but persistent, intentional, dependable, and genuine effort can. So please, go on, have your adventure, and share it with the people that you love. Thank you all for joining me in music this year, and please enjoy my debut string orchestra piece, To See and to Feel the World, in honor of the class of 2026.
And now, as a thank you to Mr. Hebig for his dedication to this orchestra, we have a small gift. This is a card from the Symphony Orchestra, just saying thank you.
We're almost done. We're not gonna ever see you when we're done. You want to end up behind there? Each time I do something, I know. Great. Happy. What's that? Dude, it's not that bad. She doesn't even see you. Are we done? Concert's over? I'd assume so. I'm gonna put the camera away for about 2 seconds. Can you wait one? You can hold the keys.